Hello and welcome to 60 Seconds to Success. I'm Dr. Jeff Frederick, Executive Vice President of TRAKnet. And with me today I have Mr. John Leardi, and you may recognize him if you've been to several conferences. He's a well-known lawyer and expert in HIPAA running rules in your office and medical offices. Today I'd like to talk to you about something that is severely important to your office, and that is backing up your software. And we know that from experience talking to a lot of our clients that there seems to be a haphazard way people are doing this. And John, if I'm correct, it's required to back up your software, correct?
Absolutely. And as far back as 2005, the HIPAA security rule has required that all practices who maintain electronic medical records or electronic health records also maintain retrievable exact copies. And those retrievable exact copies need to be kept off-site. They need to be stored in a facility or an environment that is encrypted. And those backups need to be routinely tested to ensure that they are in fact retrievable. So retrievable is the key.
So a lot of times we hear about people, well, I do a tape and then I take it home, or I put it on a USB port, or the office manager does it, or I've hired some guy who's probably doing it, I hope, not in his basement. These are all issues that can lead to fines and big problems for offices.
Sure, and fines, of course, are significant and to be feared, but think about the catastrophic event of a data loss, meaning for whatever reason you have a hardware malfunction of your server, you're not able to access your database, and when you go to try to pull that back up, it's not readily retrievable for some reason, because you trusted your IT guy, or you were just using a flash drive and you weren't routinely testing the availability. In that instance, the fine is going to be the least of your troubles. You are going to have, between a PR nightmare and also a regulatory nightmare, far bigger problems than the fine themselves.
So this leads me to something very interesting, talking about cloud computing, because we do offer cloud at TRAKnet, and I get a lot of resistance across the country for people that aren't progressive, but one of the things I think that most people don't understand, 5 years from now, cloud will be the only way you can do electronic computing. Servers that we do have in our office will probably be a thing in the past. We've heard from Microsoft that servers are on their way out and they're concentrating on cloud. And the beauty of doing cloud computing with us is the backup is done for us in Microsoft Azure, which is the gold standard of cloud computing. So the actual encryption and the several copies that Microsoft does, which is split across different areas in the country, would certainly be compliant.
Absolutely, and again, the environment being key, right? You're utilizing Microsoft. They are doing this for far larger institutional providers than just podiatry offices. This is one of their core business models now, is hosting businesses in the cloud. They, of course, have HIPAA compliant encryption standards, and they internally monitor all of their various backup systems, meaning they're not just keeping your data in one place static, right? They're keeping backups all over the world in case one data center fails. And more importantly, they internally test and monitor these backups to ensure that they are in fact retrievable. Again, retrievable exact copies being the requirement under the regulation itself.
So cloud, and it offers several solutions to office issues: decreased IT costs, access from any computer that you have, offers this backup service, and it's included in our cloud pricing. So thinking that I don't want to go to cloud, I'm afraid of cloud, it's not my data if I'm in cloud, those are all bad assumptions. And just for the fact of cloud includes backup, that would be a great idea for your office to get around these possible violations that could happen. There's nothing worse than having that catastrophic event because you thought something was being backed up by some IT guy in a basement.
A key point here, Dr. Frederick, being is that as much as there is hesitation to kind of give up control that the data is physically in your office, from a compliance perspective, ensuring that you're adhering with these governmental requirements becomes far easier when you outsource them. And more importantly, the only other pushback that I get from a lot of my offices when talking about cloud is, well, what if my internet connection goes down? In this day and age, it's easier to get a backup internet connection than it is to continually pay to back up your server, test your backups yourselves, ensure that your vendor is encrypting. For example, you may have a a base internet package from your cable company, right, for fiber internet, but you can have a cellular backup in the event that for some reason the cable goes down. This is a far easier solution in terms of a burden on your business operations than it is to continually try to monitor these backups yourself.
And just so everybody knows, when we go to shows, we're running TRAKnet off of a hotspot off of my phone. So it does work, and it's something to consider. And I would suggest that if you haven't thought about cloud, now's the time, because our sales department is going to be running some specials and some package deals. And that's 60 seconds to success.